First, I would like to welcome you to the offices of the Liberia Law Society, human rights institution committed to law reforms, promotion of human rights, and the consolidation of democracy and peace in Liberia. While we note the deteriorating situation of human rights in Liberia, today we want to speak specifically to the incidents of electoral violence occurring at the end of the recent elections of December 8. Of particular concern to us is the development in Gbarpolu County, to be specific. As you may all know, on Tuesday, December 15, there should have been a rerun in specific portion of Gbarpolu County. While that process was ensuing, we have received word that it was interrupted, rudely interrupted, by elements associated to a large extent with county authorities and one of the local paramount chiefs. We are still trying desperately to ascertain the real facts surrounding the situation. However, due to what constitutes a life-threatening situation, we felt it is important to alarm nationally, regionally, and internationally that several of our citizens, and particularly our colleagues in the legal profession, and Councillor Aloysius Stowe, who many of you will know, a former winner and recipient of the Reebok Human Rights Award, an award which I received previously, has also been one of those who have been allegedly attacked and subjected to cruel, inhumane, and degrading treatment. As of last night, we were informed that he had been released and was en route to Monrovia. But this morning we heard that he had been rearrested, and we don't know by whom. A team being sent to Gbarpolu County to determine what has happened. Our alarm is to be very clear that this constitutes a grave violation of human rights and a violation that constitutes a crime against humanity. It is an act grievous and constitutes an act of torture which will not be taken lightly. We will ensure that at all levels, locally, regionally, and internationally, that there will be series of consequences against individuals associated with such international crime. What is also of concern to us is that individuals, and some individuals higher up in government, have allegedly made statements inciting the local population into such acts. And this, for us, there will be no impunity. We will spare no effort and will act consistent with law, follow the codes of local and international law, and ensure that redress for such grievances will be offered. This is a very short statement to let all of you know that we are deeply concerned. While we have acted and remain deeply concerned about the situation in the country generally, in Gbarpolu and other areas, this is a life-threatening situation. And this is why we have uniquely mentioned it as a case in point to be addressed immediately. We want the government to act and act swiftly in addressing this matter. We call on ECOWAS, we call on members of the international community and our partners to treat this matter with the utmost urgency it deserves. That we cannot continue to allow any incident that will threaten our peace, undermine the consolidation that we have gained so far in the electoral arena, and the level of confidence and trust that Liberians have reposed in the electoral process as the only avenue of ensuring change in leadership or the value of the votes that must be respected. Any attempt to subvert the will of the Liberian people constitute a violation, and there will be sanctions associated with that. And I'm saying this because I'm not missing my words, that we pursue every path, every avenue consistent with law to make sure that those involved be brought to justice. So I want to thank you for coming. And I would like to close and say to all of you, Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. Thank you. No question?
At least 2 or 3 questions. From Page Africa.
Thank you very much. My name is Willie Tobacco from Page Africa. Have you done thorough investigation to know whether the councillor and those campaign members of the female are not gone against electoral rules for which government is trying to have them arrested?
We have not concluded any full investigation. We are dealing with what constitutes and the information of a life-threatening situation at the moment. Access to those areas are limited at the moment, and that is why, because of the circumstances surrounding, we have to sound the alarm first. Our first order of business is to ensure that those whose life are in danger are released and have access where their rights can be protected. Even where they are arrested, the government and those who allegedly arrested them are under obligation and duty to ensure that the rights are protected, consistent with both domestic and international law.
There are 2 females who alleged that they were being raped, allegedly raped, during the process. What's the position on that?
We have received equal reports of the 2 females who were allegedly raped. Their situation and the experience have been properly documented as we speak. They will be properly interviewed and will be documented. We also have information that the candidate herself is in safety already. But as I indicated, our concern has been drawn to the fact that we have had no direct contact yet with Councillor Kofi, and it's quite alarming that up to now, over the past 3 days, we have not heard from him, and we are concerned. I just heard this morning from our sources that, as I said, he was being harassed again after we were excited that he would be returning to Monrovia. the trip might have been interrupted. So I'll still piecing up the facts. But this alarm is intended to draw attention and bring attention to the situation to ensure that all of those who are concerned about human rights and the government whose duty it is to protect all of the citizens will act and act with urgency. In the absence of that, there will certainly be consequences.
Last question?
I think I'm going to.
Okay. Thank you so much.